You can advertise your business on Night Dreams Talk Radio, and you will be heard worldwide. Why not contact us at nightdreamstalkradio@gmail.com. The views, opinions, and representations expressed on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network and its website are those of the hosts, guests, and participants, and are not necessarily those of or endorsed by the network, its affiliated stations and broadcasts, the management, other hosts, or advertisers of the network. The shows found on the Night Dreams Talk Radio Network can, but do not necessarily, promote any particular lifestyle, belief, religion, political affiliation, or other personal practice. These shows are for entertainment purposes only, and are not intended to treat, diagnose, and or claim any cure of disease or condition, or give any medical or legal advice. Eric Cooper, S-4 Radio, on Night Dreams Talk Radio Network, gets deep into the paranormal.
Oh, yes, we do. So good evening or morning, depending where you are, and welcome to S4, the voice of Force Movement Paranormal, coming to you live from the FMP headquarters in the heart of the Cascade Mountains in Concrete, Washington. FMP is a highly active emergency response team for all aspects of the paranormal, from aggressive hauntings to alien interaction, Bigfoot, and other cryptids, and everything in between is terrifying. So S4 is the voice where we discuss these things in detail. Not only can you find S4 right here on Night Dreams Talk Radio, but for our local listeners, KSVU 90.1 FM also plays us pre-recorded shows from 10 to 12 p.m. every Saturday. So, tonight, it's already February 2nd, and tonight we'll start our Haunting and Entity Month. We're discussing tonight what constitutes a haunting and what types of entities are out there, from poltergeists to doppelgangers to shadows to orbs to, well, spirits, because there's a plethora of spirits. Next week, we'll be talking, actually next week, just as a reminder for those that don't know yet, we'll be starting the show at 11 p.m. to 2 a.m. because we listen to our listeners, and our listeners requested that we go 3 hours because they just love hearing us talk about everything under the sun. So next week, we'll be discussing haunted items. Can things be possessed, and how do you keep your home protected from these things? So we'll be delving into the paranormal protection as well. So tonight on the show, we have Cole Wegleitner, our FMP Lore and Culture Research Specialist and owner of Statement of Sound DJ Services, Brent Dodge, FMP Astral Team, Megan Gehring, our Astral Team and FMP Security, and Michael Hall, our paranormal lawyer and founder of UFOI Team. So how's everyone doing tonight?
Perfect.
Fantastic.
Great.
Awesome.
Really good.
So, Megan.
How are you doing? Good.
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Good. So how was our trip to Vegas? Did we see any UFOs?
I looked. I was 3 hours away from Area 51. I wanted to go, but, dang food poisoning got the better of me, and we had to scrap that on the last day. But, I actually had to take 4 flights to get there, 2 there, 2 back. And I looked the whole time. I had the window seat, so my face was literally glued to the window. I looked, and nothing.
Damn.
I know.
That's too bad. That's too bad.
I was disappointed, to say the least.
Oh, I got to throw in too for our local listeners because I know we do have a few locals that listen live. But February 16th, we are actually talking paranormal issues upriver, eastern Skagit, and we'll hit Darrington too. So eastern Snohomish as well. That way we can cover UFOs, Bigfoot, hauntings, focused solely right here in eastern Snohomish and Skagit counties. So that's going to be fun. We'll talk about Devil's Tower. We'll talk about concrete. We'll talk about Bigfoot, UFO sightings. And Keith, you're going to have a blast on that one because you've been to concrete. And Keith got dropped. We'll have to get it back in. I hate Skype sometimes. We'll get him in for an hour or two. So, talking about entities and what are some of the signs and symptoms that y'all can just think off the top of your head? When someone calls, what are the complaints that make us think it might be a haunting? Let's start right there. Scratches. But I like looking at the mundane because I don't like jumping on everything's. What else can cause scratches?
Cats.
Cats. Your sleeping partner. And I get a kick out of that because I have to do a sleep study next month. And I had to fill out this long questionnaire about my sleeping habits. Or lack of. And one of the questions is, do you have a sleeping partner? And how often does your sleeping partner sleep with you? I'm like, seriously? And I look at this doctor, I'm like, so sleeping partner, are you referring to my mate, my wife, and what do you mean how often do we sleep together? I guess I'm just normal, but my wife and I always sleep in the same bed every night.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's like interesting questionnaire. But so yes, your sleeping partner. If you have kids and your kids jump in mommy and daddy's bed, you got to look at what else could be causing scratches. If it's only scratches, then it could be something mundane. So what about door knocks? What about creaking? What about voices? What about electronic phenomena, anomalies? These are things that we look for. We've had complaints of lights going on and off. Is that always going to be something paranormal?
Not always. Not lights.
No, it's probably going to come around with 5G.
Probably. So if you have lights going on and off, we always look at the wiring. Same with EMF. You have all these paranormal teams that they run through. And, I've made this mistake before. Your cell phone can trigger your EMF meter. I've had it happen. On a Bigfoot hunt of all things. I was like, oh my God, Bigfoot trips the EMF meter in the middle of the mountains. And then my cell phone vibrated. Like, oh, that's right. Darn it. So yeah, you've got to rule out everything before you just jump on paranormal.
Yep.
Door knocks. Door knocks, I've got to say, unless you're being pranked, is a hard one to discredit. Would you guys agree?
Especially if it's a door that's not leading outside.
Where are the kids? Oh.
Well, no, like if you're alone in your house and you hear someone knocking on the other side of a closet.
Right.
Right next to you.
Yeah, that's why I was saying that one's a little bit hard to discredit, especially if it's coming from the closet.
Getting pushed by nothing. That's another one.
That's another one. So let's talk about the first thing. Anytime you say paranormal, the first thing anyone jumps on is Ghostbusters or Ghost Adventures. Or Jason Hotop is in the chat room. He says, especially if there's no door. Yeah.
No.
Oh, I gotta give a quick shout out too, because I was checking our geographical listeners for S4, and we have Honduras and South Africa. So if you're in Honduras or South Africa, hey, welcome to S4. I gotta say, I think that's cool.
Hey, if there's no door, how'd you get in the room?
Well,
There's a doorway.
you've got to look at the history of the house. Was there a door there at one point?
Or he flew through the roof.
A door or a room without doors is just a box. That's all I'm saying.
This is true. So let's talk about spirits here. And I can see Skype is going to be an issue tonight. So first of all, what attracts paranormal activity?
People
Negativity, depression.
Okay, I want to get specific because basically I'm going down my notes from our EMS and first responders training because it covers everything we're talking about tonight. So first of all, violent crime, domestic violence, things of that nature. If there's any kind of, like you said, Brent, negativity, is an attractor for paranormal, for malevolent entities specifically. When you're talking spirits, and was it last week we were talking? I think it was with Keys too, actually, where if somebody dies in a car wreck, for example, their spirit's stuck. But it also does not always mean that they're stuck at the car scene or at the car wreck.
Yeah.
They're going to go home. Because in many of those cases, they don't realize that they've died. So, they step out of the car and, I'm going home. And they're home. And then, well, you have a haunting. So, we got any input here?
About
I
situation.
I have a question.
What's that?
Well, so if they don't know that they've died, that can go on for quite a while, right?
Oh, yeah. Until they get crossed over.
Do they follow their normal routine that they would have before they died? Like, do they go to work?
They could.
Sometimes they do. Sometimes they do. But so and that goes along with what we're about to talk about as well, because you do have residual hauntings, and those ones. So the difference between a residual haunting and an active spirit is intelligence. With a residual haunting, it's kind of like a record player gets played over and over again. And with residual hauntings, you'll actually find, if you look at patterns, you'll find it's most active at a certain time of day. It's active on a certain time of the month because that's when they died. Things of that nature, and those you won't get an EVP off that because there's not an actual spirit there. It's just residual energy.
Not actually haunting.
And then you have the spirits that passed and they're stuck. And those are usually someone that died from a violent crime, somebody that died before they were meant to. Let's see what else. Sometimes if there's unfinished business, they're stuck here. And if it's a spirit that's here because of unfinished business, those are the ones that mediums are going to connect with the most because they want the medium to help them recover. Whether it's to find their body, whether it's to leave a message for a loved one, things of that nature. And, Megan can tell you about that one a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
The Mount Baker case.
Yeah. No, I connected with one of the lost snowboarders up on Mount Baker, and he was very, very, very clear that him and his friend were still up there. And the friend